Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
A whole legend.
Tyra Banks.
That's
welcome.
right.
Hi.
Good morning.
I'm so excited. This is the first time I've ever been here.
I know.
It's crazy.
Where you been?
I've been watching you.
Okay.
But just not in the room.
We appreciate you.
Thank
You here to
you.
talk ModelLand?
I'm here to talk ModelLand.
You got your
yes.
you got your own theme park?
It's not. Everybody says it's a theme park. It's not a theme park. It's 21,000 square feet, and it's inside. So it's a lot of square feet, but it's not like we're outside with like roller coasters and stuff
I
like
thought
that.
you had your own Six Flags at Disney World.
no,
It's on
not
the pier.
yet.
It's on Santa Monica Pier. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
let's talk
right near
about
the
it.
pier.
So what is ModelLand?
ModelLand is a place that you can come and live the ultimate modeling fantasy for everybody.
Instagram.
Yeah, but in person. Can you imagine?
Okay.
Like you are in person, living and walking through this wonderful attraction and experience where you get photo shoots with professional lighting. Actually, yes, with professional lighting and tips and tricks from me.
Okay.
We take you through this wonderful shopping experience. We have a wig shop called Snatched. Yes, where you can buy the craziest wigs and fun wigs to like enhance your
So if you're
experience.
bald, you can do something.
I mean, are you bald?
no,
up
I'm
in
not. I
there?
got hair. But,
No.
you know, I'm saying I got hair right here. you know.
Yes, but you could do like different wigs, and the wig shop is called Snatched. If there are some girls in the room, they would laugh at that because that's like a word that
No, I
we
get it.
use.
Listen, he knows what you're talking
yes.
about because he did not have that hairline about 3 months ago.
Oh, did he
I
fill
let
it in
my
with?
hair
All
grow.
in hand.
Is
My
it,
hair is real.
is it
Line.
painted in or is it plugged in?
Plugs.
Oh,
She don't
plugs
wanna
are cool.
touch you.
touch it. She's gonna touch it. Look.
Whoa.
Touch it.
Oh, that looks good.
No, it's
No plugs.
It's real. It doesn't
Oh.
look good. It's real.
Plugs,
well,
Miss
it's-
Banks.
Well, if it's plugs, it looks real, and if it's
not-
and,
it's
and
real.
if it's real, it doesn't look like plugs.
All right.
Yes, whatever makes you feel good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, my
but yeah,
goodness.
so you know, I kind of compare ModelLand to America's Next Top Model. So with America's
Okay.
Next Top Model, it was a TV show. People could watch it, you know, watch the television, watch it on their phone, whatever, but couldn't really live it. Right? And at ModelLand, you're stepping into this world where you are taking the most amazing pictures, going through this storyline as if you're a student at the ModelLand Academy, needing to like ace your tests while you're shopping and having an amazing time too.
What's the bigger purpose of ModelLand? Like, how will it help
Yeah.
somebody's like fashion or beauty or even their self-esteem?
So
What's
we
the
are-
purpose behind it?
Yeah, so first of all, I do talk about the self-esteem. I'm so happy you asked that because a lot of people don't ask that. Like my purpose when I've created this, I've been working on it for 12 years.
Wow.
Yes, is to do what I call the Flintstone vitamin effect, where like you eat the vitamin and you chew it and it tastes sweet, but there's all this good stuff in there for you. So there's all these messages in there about combating beauty. For instance, like when you come to ModelLand, it represents this place that is telling us that we're not good enough. Like, you know, you need to be skinny, you need to be this, you need to be that. However, there's like a revolution, an uprising. Almost, I call it like a Nat Turner uprising, where
Oh, I love those. Let's talk.
Yes, where
Let's not scare the white
everybody
people, but let's talk.
stop that. Where everybody that's coming to ModelLand is about that uprising, and we're about to take back beauty. Like all beauty matters at ModelLand.
But with that being said, how do you feel about a lot of these internet models and a lot of the internet people just in general, getting fake butts, boob jobs,
Yeah.
liposuction? A lot of people are dying because of these surgeries because they're trying to be quote unquote perfect, you know?
Yeah. What is perfect? You know, the crazy thing is like there's these trends that go in and out of fashion. You know, at one point it was no booty and everybody was taking their booties off. And now it's a big booty and like you're getting a fake booty. And then it was no boobs in the 70s and it was kind of big boobs in the 80s, huge boobs in the 90s. So it just goes in and out of fashion. And there's a lot of pressure to look a certain way. Even when I was a model, I used to be like, back in the day before it was like normal to speak truth, I'd be like this weave on my head and da-da-da and show myself with no makeup on 20 years ago. It's important for the people that are putting up an image to tell the truth and to kind of show that. And that's what I do, like, and live that.
Didn't they used to tell you that you was too tall, too thick,
Too thick and too black.
too black? And that's so strange to me because I would feel like somebody like you would have would have revitalized everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
because you are such a success, you would think they would look for more Tyras, but I don't think that happened.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. I did a really good job of like breaking into like the more commercial side of modeling, like Victoria's Secret and Sports Illustrated. And there really hasn't been Black girls like that have really been like a household huge name, you know? And I've tried to mentor a couple of girls and stuff, but it's not just about mentoring, it's about the industry helping that happen as well. So There's still time.
Is the day of the supermodel over? Because I remember growing up, it was you had people that you idolize and women idolize and fellas idolize, but I don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
What supermodel did you want to be like?
Did you want to be like Tyson Beckford?
I'm like, you said you
Why you
idolized
asking me?
supermodel. What supermodel did you idolize?
Why? I didn't say I did. I said people
You
did.
said, okay.
But yes, I wanted to be like Tyson Beckford. I sure did, all right? I sure did.
okay.
I did 100 sit-ups and it didn't work out for me, but I tried.
Okay.
You want to know.
Okay.
No, today there are supermodels like Ashley Graham, who is what we call curvy and thicker and luscious and beautiful. And then there's Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid. And, so there are girls today that are doing it. But
Jordan Dunn, right? She's
Jordan Dunn,
yeah.
exactly. But right before them, there was like nothing. Like nobody really popping, maybe a few, but not really. So there's like a resurgence of it. But what I like about the resurgence is that it's much more diverse and that you're seeing girls that are, Ashley, that probably couldn't have happened, her being a thicker model and being a supermodel 10 years ago. But now she's killing it.
For you, did you make the transition from modeling to business effortlessly, or has it always been business? Was that always your mindset coming in?
Yeah, I was always really strategic. Like there were models I would see when I was like a model in Paris, and I'd be like, oh gosh, she's so beautiful. She looked way better than me. She's going to do her thing and surpass me. But I realized it was really about strategy. And I feel like a lot of very successful people, including the people in this room, we are talented. However, there's a business and we understand how to differentiate ourselves and be different to stand out. And that's a lot of strategy and a lot of business. So it was always there.
Did you have an end game back then?
My mama used to tell me to leave before they left me.
Wow.
Yeah. She was like, look at that model. She was cool and hot. Where is she now today? Like that was literally a year ago, and that's going to happen to you one day. Yeah, it's cute. Everybody wants Tyra in their fashion show, but it won't be forever. So what is the game after fashion? What is the game after? So I was always like 10 steps ahead, almost in fear a little bit. Like I got to make sure I have a plan. I can't just be kicked out and like be nothing.
That's what causes anxiety, right? Like that uncertainty of the future. You try to control everything.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think about it like a plan. It's a sustainability plan.
Do they still call and want you to do fashion shows and you turn them down, or do you think about it?
I literally just came out of retirement. Yeah, last year. I came out of retirement actually from ModelLand, because here I am saying that I'm creating this place where everybody can come. Families, all ages, kids, mamas, grandparents can come to ModelLand and live their fantasy self. But here I retired from modeling because I was aging and needed to leave. So I was like, I'm going to come out of retirement and I'm going to come out like a big way. Like if I was a boxer, I would be coming out like and just, coming and battling like the biggest boxer there was out there. And so I decided to do Sports Illustrated again. And so I was on the cover of a Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition last year.
You gonna act like you didn't see that, Envy? You gonna act like we didn't have a whole report on that?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
It was the first time the Sports Illustrated website broke. First time.
I can see why.
Really?
Yeah, I can see why. Isn't it different though? Like black beauty standards are different than white beauty standards, I think, because the aging process is different.
How old are you? 75?
41.
Literally, my team member Alana, we were getting ready this morning, and I was getting ready. She's like, "God dang it, you
That's
look
what I'm
28."
saying.
But yeah, it's a little bit of tricks with my makeup and jeans.
Because when you talk about aging out, like, what is that?
Yeah,
I don't know
you know
what?
I guess it's not. Yeah, for a lot of people of color, it's not so much aging out because you're looking a lot older in the fashion industry. It's just like, okay, it's just time. We've had enough, and it's time to move on.
Now, it seems like everybody wants to be a model now. What do you tell these young girls that want to be a model, or what they should try to do? Because modeling isn't for everybody.
Yeah. So a lot of people in my generation, they don't like the whole internet and social media, how it gives everybody access. I love it.
Really?
This is what I have been fighting for so long. I remember doing interviews like 15 years ago in rooms like this and saying, to me, when we get to a place where everybody has access to see some version or vision of themselves, when diversity starts to be normal, I want it to be boring. I don't want it to be Ashley Graham is this curvy model. I want it to be, oh yeah, Ashley Graham, she's a model, yeah, like whatever. Like it should be normal.
I get it.
And I feel like because of social media and that access to everybody having some version of being a model is actually helping. on the negative side with social media, with a lot of kind of those like severe and extreme looks, a lot of people don't understand that it's surgery. A lot of people don't understand that it's retouching and so much, and it can make you feel crappy. Even people on vacation. How many times have you guys just been not feeling good, and then you just see like friends and people on vacation and popping and doing this, and just for a hot second it just gets you, like just for a second, So imagine that being like a vulnerable girl, that's 16 in high school, and she's seeing those types of things. And so what I tell them is stop following those people that make you feel like that. Like, scroll through your Instagram, scroll through whatever social media platforms that you're on, and pay attention to what the stomach is doing, the heart is doing. And if it goes like that, just unfollow. And not even forever. Maybe you can come back later to that person, but just unfollow it and continue to put people into your feed that lift you up.
Yeah, I mean, jealousy and envy are an interesting thing, right? Because you don't know you're envious of something until
it's in your face. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I want that. And why do I want that? Yeah, and some jealousy and envy could be good and positive because it pushes us to be our best. Like, oh, I see what they're doing. Oh, I wish I could have that. Okay, I'm going to work really hard. That's the positive side. And then there's that ugly side that just makes you feel crappy. And that's not good.
Now, what do you tell parents out there? Because, a lot of parents, first of all, everybody thinks their child should be models, right? Everybody. And then when you walk through the mall, there's always somebody with a headshot in the mall that says, I can make you a model. So if a parent out there...
Well, first of all, those people are spooky sometimes.
Aren't they the worst?
Oh, my God. I mean, though, that is scary. I always tell parents and girls, don't trust everybody coming up to you saying, here's my number, I can make your child to come see me. Like, that's scary. I remember when I had my talk show, the Tyra show, I used to do these almost like To Catch a Predator type of like stings. Yes, except it was a setup where we had a fake photographer, fake makeup artist, fake casting, like on Craigslist or something, saying, come to be a model. And girls would show up, and within 30 seconds, they have their clothes off because the photographer's telling them, I work for Vogue and I do this and I do that. And then I would come out and say, I don't want you to do this. What are you doing? And they're like, well, I've heard you say it that I shouldn't do this. I've heard you say that on TV before. And I'm like, but you're still doing it.
Wow.
You're still doing it because there's something that taps into people that want to feel validated and want somebody else to tell them that they are beautiful. And that is just a natural, inherent thing inside of us. And I'm constantly trying to empower people to say, look in the mirror, and I'm going to give you tips and tricks for you to find that in yourself, where you don't need that validation from somebody else. And again, but with a Flintstone vitamin. And that's why I created ModelLand, is its place. You're going to feel validated. Your beauty's going to be celebrated. We're going to be getting wigs. We're going to be taking photo shoots. There's a live posing class at ModelLand. There's all this storyline. In fact, the storyline of ModelLand is through the eyes of a girl named Tuki De La Creme, who's a black girl from Inglewood, California.
Her name's Tuki.
She's Tuki.
Got it.
Yeah, so she's like, exactly, right? Tuki is, yeah. And so she's almost like ModelLand's Harry Potter. So she is leading this revolution of people to say, come, you don't have to look a certain way to be beautiful. It means so many things. And we have been brainwashed to think that we have to look a certain way. And I'm trying to brainwash the other way to say, no, you don't.
A lot of women would look at you and say, well, that's easy for you to say, Tyra, because you're beautiful. It's just like when a person that got money is telling you, oh, money isn't everything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I hate when people with money say that money is not everything. Yeah. I'm not saying beauty is not everything. I'm saying that it's important to look in the mirror and feel beautiful. And I'm going to give you the tips and tricks to do that. Because I don't like it when a person that's a model or some actress is like, oh my God, it's just all about the inside. And yes, it is about the inside. However, there's all this research shows that if you do like this and wear this color in a photo on LinkedIn, you're going to get more people asking you to come to a job interview. And it's not necessarily about beauty all the time, but there are certain things that you can do to uplift yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you don't have to be apologetic about it. But when it gets too far, when it gets to this place of sadness and depression, that's when we have a problem. I've actually been trained by crisis counselors on how to deal with that too.
Really?
Yes.
Did you do that on purpose just because of this? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
wow.
yeah, I trained with crisis counselors many years ago. I used to have a camp called T-Zone for young girls to enrich their self-esteem. And I'd go to the mountains, Charlamagne. I'd go to the mountains for 7 days and not shower because I did not want to be in that camp shower. It was disgusting. So I showered in the sink, if you know what I mean. But I was trained by crisis counselors in how to deal with young girls and self-esteem issues. And so I've taken all of that training and put it into ModelLand to understand the triggers and things that happen when people are not feeling good about themselves and how you turn that around. But again, Flintstone vitamin.
Give me some tips. I feel ugly today.
Do you?
I don't go to therapy till Friday. I feel ugly. Lift me
pretty
up.
What does that
today.
mean? I feel ugly.
I don't know. I
You
just
look pretty
Okay.
ugly today. Your forehead
I feel
shiny.
a little bloated. I haven't really
You
gotten
look a
back
little
on track
bloated.
since the holidays.
Look like you gained about 10 pounds.
Could you stop, please? I don't need this negative reinforcement from you.
Your
All
lips
right?
look a little ashy.
For real?
No.
I got Carmex.
They don't look ashy.
You never know. You never...
They don't look. What do you use?
Carmex.
Oh my God! You just gave them a commercial.
So what's the first tip you would give me?
What is that? Why are you putting it
Why you
inside
putting
of your
it on so
mouth?
rough? What do you-
And he's putting it like on his tongue.
That's not what we supposed to
It was like way inside your mouth. It was like your finger went like way in, and your tongue must be like burning right now.
Well, now I know why my lips are ashy. I'm putting it on my tongue. My tongue is fine. Lips are ashy. What would be the first thing you told me though if I told you I feel ugly?
The first thing I would tell you is
Plastic surgery.
no. I would say why. What's making you feel that way?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times it's not necessarily what we're saying about ourselves, but about somebody else. And a lot of the pain that we have gone through is based on somebody, a loved one, a parent, a sibling, a teacher, somebody telling us that we are not good enough. We all have those people who in your life, whether you want to say it or not, told you, you'll never make it, Charlamagne. This is not going to ever happen for you, blah, blah, blah.
A bunch of people, but I do know that stems from when I was 8. And the woman who used to touch on me when I was 8, when I made her stop doing it, she would tell me that I was ugly and I had a big nose.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yes, because she was wanting you to make it feel disgusting about yourself so that you would continue to
Absolutely.
serve the crap that she was doing to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you understand that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I go to therapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you go to therapy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so many people don't go to therapy. So you would start with asking them, who made you feel not good enough? What is that in your life? And then you kind of go from there and take it step by step. I also do this thing with young women in big groups where I tell them to close their eyes and imagine themselves nude in a mirror and find the one thing that you hate about yourself, that you just wish would go away, that you hate. And then we all open our eyes and everybody is crying in the room.
Wow.
And we go around and we share and we talk about that. And then we give love and support to each other as we talk about that. Then I have them close their eyes again.
We should do that. We should do that now. Charlamagne.
Could you let her finish, please?
We should do this. This is great. I
Let
love
her
this.
finish.
This is great. This is wonderful.
Let's
Then
go,
we
go ahead,
have-
Ms.
and then I
Banks.
have
This
them-
guy's so rude.
Then I have them close their eyes, have them close their eyes again, nude in the mirror again, turn round and round, and find one thing that you think is beautiful, physically beautiful. And we open our eyes, and there's like a light that lifts. Some people say, my eyelashes. Some people say, my eyebrows are on point. Like, I just get them done, and they look so good. Some people are like, my booty is thick. I don't like my waist, but I love my booty. And it just turns. And then what I tell people to do is when you leave here, I want you to do this. And every week, I want you to be nude, but this time for real. And find something else. And it can be as small as your toenails, just something to make you feel pride. And then go get those nails done every week or every month or whatever you can afford and adorn that. So it's something that you start with slowly. You can't just be like, you beautiful. And look, what is that?
So what
you know?
didn't you like about yourself, if there was anything?
Oh my gosh, I have cellulite. I have crazy cellulite. I always have, even when I was super skinny. My thighs are not in what do you call that? In the ratio to my calves. I have no calves. I have a lot of stuff. I'm a master at knowing how to cover it up and how to dress and how to pose to make you not see that as much. And that's what I'll teach you at ModelLand too, and what I teach at Top Model and everywhere.
Now, do you pop up at ModelLand?
I do sometimes.
So you do. So
Yes,
so some
I
people might
will.
get to see you and talk to you.
Yes. And then we have something called the ModelLand Discovery Society, where for the people that are buying tickets literally right now, when they're there, every day there will be ModelLand scouts looking for 4 different types of people.
So there will be scouts there.
Yes,
Dope.
but not necessarily to sign a real modeling contract. Sure, that might happen sometimes, but I also want to give everybody an opportunity. So this first promotion that we're doing is we're looking for a dad, we're looking for a mom, we're looking for a teenager between 16 to 18, and we're looking for what we call age ain't nothing but a number. So like any age, doesn't matter, 30s, 20s, whatever, to star in a cosmetics campaign, somebody that has never modeled before. So you can imagine like bringing your daughter to ModelLand and then like somebody comes up to you and goes, ding, 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 your dad, da-da-da, what's your name, da-da-da. Well, you've just been scouted by the ModelLand Discovery Society and you are going to be doing a photo shoot, blah, blah, blah. So that's important to me to give everybody these types of opportunities to shine.
Question: Has being turned down often in your younger years shaped your career and work ethic?
That's a good question. Yes. I like to say that my pain led to a passion. And the pain started with, being told, at a modeling agency, I walk in 15 years old and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. We already have a black girl.
Damn.
And then you look at the wall and there's 200 models and there's like one speck of brown on that wall, and being told that many times. And then becoming a model and hearing that even more, even as a supermodel. You can't be on the cover of this magazine because they don't want a black girl. I'm like, but my cover sold more than anybody else's on this magazine last month, more than this other girl, so why can't I? And back in the day, fashion and decisions were not just financial decisions, which killed me. I didn't understand. I'm like, but I just sold more than her, and I don't understand. Today, it's a bit more about money. Back then, it was like the image of my company and a this and that, and it didn't matter. So that was painful.
Wow. But doesn't the image of the company translate to money, I guess?
Yes, but it was weird. It was, I didn't understand, why was I selling more? My agency got the numbers, but I couldn't book the next cover and I couldn't do this. And girls that were selling maybe 60% of what I was would get the covers. So it was a little strange. Then I was told, your booty's getting too big. You can't do these fashion shows. So constant pain. But then the pain led to passion to like, you know what, I got to do something about this. What can I do? And not just help myself, but help other people. Like, what can I do? And so I started my T-Zone camps for girls. And then I started America's Next Top Model. And a lot of people think I started Top Model to just say, oh, this is fashion and I'm going to show you how to smize and walk a runway and be fierce. That's the Flintstone vitamin, that's the sweet part. But the vitamin and the medicine inside of it was really expanding beauty. So what I would do, and my partner Ken Mock, who's Chinese American and has a passion for diversity as well, we would look at the landscape of women everywhere and say, who is disenfranchised? Who's not feeling beautiful? So season 1 of Top Model, almost 20 years ago, I had what we called at the time a plus size model. People were looking at me like I was crazy. She would go to different photo shoots for Top Model and we couldn't even find clothes for her because the designer didn't have clothes for her. And so she's crying and dealing with all this pain and more seasons and seasons of these girls dealing with pain because the industry wasn't ready for them. But that was still the passion that I wanted to do to open up doors. The chocolate skin black girl with the short cropped hair. Now we have our beautiful Miss Universe today. 20 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the thing that mainstream America was saying was beautiful. So I made sure that time and time again, I had my beautiful chocolate sisters on America's Next Top Model, and I strategically would tell her, you are beautiful. Your picture gave me chills. Look at yourself. Congratulations. You are still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Model. And I wasn't talking to her. I was talking to the millions of girls that look like her. Yeah. So it was super strategic. So with ModelLand, it's the next phase. It's the next phase of saying, it's not a competition. You don't have to do the Tyra pick me. You can get a ticket and come and feel so beautiful. You may get discovered, you may not, but who cares? You're going to go home with these amazing photos. And if you want, you can get a membership and come back over and over and over again and save some money with membership too. But come back over and over and over again to fill up that need that we all have to feel validated.
Did they ever try to pitch you against other black models?
Constantly. That was a black model thing.
Yeah. Her and Naomi Campbell had a little thing.
Yeah, it was very difficult. It's really difficult. It was difficult for her. When I was young, it was just super painful, and I didn't understand what was going on and why she was being this way to me. But the adult me sees that she was a victim. And that she was a victim of people saying, you better look out. Tyra's on the scene and she's going to take your jobs. And I don't know what was going on. Maybe I was booking stuff and she wasn't booking it. I don't know. And she had a strong reaction. But the adult in me, more sends love to her because she was a victim of the tokenism and just saying there can only be one.
Have you ever spoke since then, or?
Yes, I had it on my talk show many years ago, and I talked about the pain. Again, it was a little bit more.
I remember that. Y'all got rid of the whole audience.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
It was just us two on the stage, and I was still a little bit of a little girl, and not understanding the system as much. This was over 10 years ago, and I say little girl, I mean in my head. I was a grown woman mentally, and I was like, why did you do this to me? And I still didn't get it, and I don't know, 2 years ago, I was like, you know what? She was a victim and just trying to still keep her job. And she had strong reactions and crazy reactions. But she was just trying to do the best that she could.
I remember you told Vanity Fair she scared you.
Yeah, she did.
What did she do to scare you?
I don't want to talk about that, but there was a lot of stuff that I was not very comfortable.
What kept Tyra Banks rooted in her blackness? Because a lot of people get in your position
and they start talking like us. This is the one thing I would like, but working with a model and black girl from Arkansas or something, and but I didn't know where she's from, and I meet her and she's like, oh, hello, Tyra, nice to meet you, and I'm like, where are you from? Arkansas? And I'm like, but why do you talk like that? Oh, I travel the world. I'm like, bitch, I travel the world too. I don't understand like what that is. I don't know. I think it's my mama. My mom is everything to me. I go home. There's no like modeling pictures of me on the walls. She still tells me to get your ass up and clean that bed. And, I feel so connected to home. I'm from Inglewood, California. Lately, I'm really trying to spend my money in Inglewood, California. That's actually new for me, to be honest. Like just going back home. No, I mean like literally like going to go eat. Okay. Like really spending money with the businesses. Home, yeah. Yes. Like it's a passion of mine right now just to continue to go home to my community and for them to claim me as being from Inglewood. I think it's really important. I used to say, I'm from LA because I went to high school in LA and stuff, but I'm from Inglewood. And I think that's so important for them to remember that and to know that. And Tuki Della Creme, our Harry Potter of ModelLand, fictitiously, she's from Inglewood, California.
Inglewood up to no good.
Holla.
You got to throw up that west side or something.
I don't have the muscles. Oh, man. It takes a long time to do it.
You're embarrassing them now. You're embarrassing them now.
Oh, you can do this.
Okay, forget it. Don't do it.
That looks so bad.
Now, please don't do
that. I can't.
Don't do that in Inglewood.
What the heck is that?
I don't know what sign you throwing up. I just want you to throw up the W.
That's like the ET sign. ET phone.
You have just insulted Crips, Bloods.
How bad is that? And I can't even get the space.
Oh my goodness.
Stop. And my manicure is awful. And I got dirt under my ring
and
finger.
A little ash right here, just a little bit. I got some. You want some Aveeno?
Yeah, do you have some?
Oh my goodness.
Is Aveeno too cheap for you?
No, Aveeno is good.
Okay, just making sure.
I love some CVS and some Rite Aid and some Dwayne Reed.
There you go.
Now,
actually, really do.
Now, have you ever turned down something because you didn't like the designer or the outfit that they made you wear?
As a model, hell no. Your job is to put them dirty, ugly ass clothes on and make them look amazing. And on America's Next Top Model, I would tell people that, like, no, it's not about you liking it. It's about you making somebody else like it because somebody is going to like this. So no, I never as a model would turn it down. You just put it on.
Like I seen a model wearing the big lips. I don't know if you've seen it recently. They had the model wearing it. You got a picture of it?
Oh, well, that's different. Yeah, I didn't model cigarettes. I didn't model furs. What is that?
They were actually saying that was racist, actually. It was like they made her look like a monkey.
Is this new?
Yeah, that was from Fashion Week. That's from
this Fashion Week?
Yeah.
Really? But they just had the whole scandal about a mask like that last year. Yeah. That's weird.
They had the upgrade.
I didn't see that one yet.
Live action monkey.
Oh yes, I just know nudity. Furs, cigarettes, even alcohol I didn't really do. I did one responsible drinking campaign because I wanted people to like responsibly drink. So I would say no constantly. But in terms of some ugly clothes, I just put it on.
Do you think shows like America's Next Top Model, because I know they brought it back like a couple years ago with Rita Ora, do you think those shows are still healthy to do, mentally healthy for people?
I think reality TV is really difficult. I mean, you're removed from like phones and TV and, and the reason why you do that is because if they have that, there is no show. You really want people to interact and to talk. Or else, can you imagine a show where you just like people are on their phone and they're like it just doesn't make sense. But there's a lot of pressure. So many people want to be on it. So many people want to be on America's Next Top Model. I want to do this. I want to do this. Or they look at it on TV and they're like, this is so easy. I could do this. And then they get there and they realize this is hard. This is hard. And the one thing that we did on America's Next Top Model is we had, and this is a little behind the scenes thing, we had 2 psychiatrists clear every model that came on.
Wow.
They went through multitudes and multitudes of psychiatric checks before they came on the show because there's so much pressure. And even still, after all of those psychological checks, some girls still couldn't take it and was like, I'm gone. And there have been girls where like off camera, on camera, depends. I'll go and talk to them and say, it's okay. It's just a modeling competition. If you want to go, it's fine. Sometimes I'd be like, I think you should stay. I think you're having a hard day. And we would try to gauge that with the psychiatrists off camera to see, was it a mental thing that they should leave? Or is it just like they're just used to getting turned down all the time and don't know how to like get up again.
That's
wonder
crazy.
how-
Think about it, Charlamagne. To be on America's Next Top Model, you had to speak to a psychiatrist, right?
Yeah.
2 different
But to
ones.
buy a gun, you ain't got to speak to nobody.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I mean, that was a
Interesting.
decision
That's
y'all made.
crazy.
Though.
Yes, it's a decision we made.
America can make that decision.
And that the psychiatrist had to agree. So if one didn't agree, the girl did not come on the show.
What did the psychiatrist say to the young woman that you screamed on and told her we was all rooting for you? We was all rooting for you.
I actually don't remember, but Tiffany, oh my God, that girl is my heart.
Wow, really?
Yeah. That emotional thing that I had was like me being so invested in her. I actually thought she was going to win. One of the things that I used to see in the fashion industry is that the fashion industry would take girls from the trailer park and dust her off and make her a supermodel, but they wouldn't do that from the hood. Like you didn't see the girl with the door knocker earrings, with the fronts and like some streaks of purple and green in her hair and, talks like how I talk when I'm in Inglewood. You didn't see her getting discovered and then they like redo her and make her a star. And that was part of my thing. One of the many things that I was really passionate about for Top Model. So when I saw my urban girls from the hood and I saw her giving up, it took me somewhere. But after that situation, and I edited a lot of stuff out to protect her personal life and stuff. But after that, I realized, let me just back up a little. Like you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And maybe it just wasn't for her, and so I had to respect that. And I've seen interviews where she's talked about that crazy moment, and I really respect how she talks about it to this day. I think she's really healthy about it and honest. Like Tyra was freaking crazy. I don't know what the hell she was doing. But yeah, I did give up and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but she overreacted, but I, gave up too soon. So I think it was a very fair assessment.
Speaking of giving up too soon, do you think you gave up daytime TV too soon?
Oh gosh, Charlamagne, I was so stressed.
Really?
Gosh, it is so hard.
What's so stressful about it?
It's so stressful because I was producing it and I was starring in it. And I'm a real producer, so, really it's not just like my name doing that. And then I was doing 2 top models a year and working on other projects. There were certain days when I was doing the Tyra show where I was in bed and just felt like, oh my God, I gotta get up and go. And then there would be times where I prepped with my team and I'm in my dressing room and done all the work and I'm walking down the hallway to the stage and I hear the crowd, Tyra, and I felt there was like a meat hook in my back, pulling me back to my dressing room and saying, you can't do this anymore. So it was a lot of stress. But what would make me keep going every single day is there's some girl or some guy sitting there on that couch with me and having a moment of like, oh my gosh, I'm transgender and it's okay. I'm gay and it's okay. I'm thick and it's okay. I'm this and it's okay. That kept me going. Right. But I don't know if I would have be able to continue to sustain that forever.
I saw the line of questioning you hit Beyonce with. Do you look at that and cringe a little bit?
I look at that and say I'm crazy, but I would totally do it again. If I ever interviewed Beyonce, we'd rhyme with Knowles. It was rhyming with Beyonce.
What was the line of questioning?
Oh, it was like I used her name and rhymed with her name, like Seance. When is the last time that you believed in the occult? Fiance. What is the day that Jay-Z asked you to marry him? It was like all rhyming with her name.
Whose idea was that?
That was my producer's idea. Yeah. But genius producers, because we're talking about it 10 years later.
Would you ever do it again, though? Because, it seems like you got so much.
She said no.
Like, you have so much to say.
I have a lot to say. No, I might do a podcast or something, but we actually have a podcast booth in ModelLand that we're going to be building, kind of like TRL, where it's in a window and you can kind of see it happening. But talk, I just don't know. Child, I don't know.
How do you make ModelLand marketable to everybody and not just people that are interested in modeling?
So many people are interested in ModelLand because it's not just about being a model. It's so much deeper. It's about self-esteem. It's about looking in the mirror and wanting to express the most beautiful you. And it's about having fun. Don't you want to come and try on some wigs and buy some wigs and be fierce and work runways and go into our posing education class and, have the best light ever from like the top light technologists in the world that I'm working with. And then we have something called the Fantasine, which is like a a premier package where you actually come to we call it our grand lounge, and you get your hair and your makeup done and like couture, crazy Met Ball, gorgeous fashions, and you get a photo shoot. So it's almost like the most fancy Vegas kind of looking spa, except you don't come out relaxed and empty-handed after a massage. You leave with the most amazing photos of yourself.
Yeah, I'm a girl dad, so I know I'm going to end up there.
Oh, exactly. You got to come.
I know I'm going to end up there.
Yeah.
How has managing a family been for you?
I love my boo. Oh my gosh. With me being a working mom and like a very driven, focused working mom that's doing something that I feel is bigger than me, I make sure that I take my son to school every day.
Wow.
So like we go to school every single day. I drop him off in his classroom.
How old is he
every
now?
single day. He's 4. Yeah. And he knows ModelLand. He knows ModelLand. There's this thing that we teach about no neck monsters in ModelLand and how to like show your neck in different ways. And he did the interactive, but now he thinks no neck monsters are a real thing. He's like, Mommy, I want to go see the no neck monsters in ModelLand. I'm like, baby, no, it's figurative. It's not literal.
Does he know what mommy does?
A little bit. So he came to the set of Life Size 2. I did a movie called Life Size with Lindsay Lohan many years ago. And then we did not a remix. We did a sequel. Thank you. A sequel. And so he would come to the set. There was one day where we were filming a music video of the remix of the Life Size theme song. The Life Size theme song is called Shine Bright. Or Shine Bright, Shine Far, Don't Be Star. It's called Be a Star, but the lyrics are Shine Bright. So he was on the set of that. So now every time Mommy is doing anything with lights and camera, like he would come in here and be like, oh, Mommy, you're doing Shine Bright work. He calls it Shine Bright.
Eventually you're going to have the talk with him.
Which one?
The talk that eventually somebody's going to come up to you, son, and say, hey, your mom is a MILF. How do you respond to that? I'm serious.
I didn't know which talk it was.
Yeah, I know what talk you're talking about.
I was like, there's so many.
You're only 4 years old, man. You got no birds.
I said one day, I'm not talking about at 4,
Jeesh.
but around 8 or 9 or 10, you're going to be dropping your son off to school, and some little boy is going to say, yo,
Really?
your mom. Yes.
And he's going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I want to throw up.
Has anyone ever doubted an idea you pitched?
America's Next Top Model.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. I had this idea, and my agent at the time told me models are vapid and unsympathetic characters, and no one wants to look at that. That was the exact quote.
Wow.
And this was my Charlamagne, this was my third television idea, because I was going to go to college for film and television production. This was my third idea that I had to produce a show, and I was tired of him telling me that. And so I was complaining to my friend Kenya, Kenya Blackish, Kenya
Yeah,
Barris.
Kenya Barris.
So like we've been friends since we were 6 years old. I was complaining to Kenya about it, and Kenya was like, enough of this because your ideas are good. He took my idea to his agent, totally different agency, and I pitched the whole thing and found a partner separate from my agent and sold Top Model. Cut to now, today, we're in 180 countries.
Wow.
From a person that told me that it's a vapid thing and they're unsympathetic and nobody wants to look at that.
Do you see that person now?
No, but he got commissions for a couple of years from Top Model. He made money on Top Model for the first maybe 3 years.
Wow.
What was your relationship with Kobe Bryant? We know you did the same with him.
Yes.
Did y'all still speak? Did y'all have a relationship?
We wouldn't hang out like in the last, 10 years. I wasn't hanging out with Kobe or anything. But of course, when somebody passes that's in your life, you go through every single moment. I remember I used to do the Oprah Winfrey Show as like a correspondent, kind of like Dr. Phil kind of thing, but for teen girls or young women, shall I say. And I used to do a special once a month. And I did this whole thing about siblings and having famous siblings and what that feels like to to sibling that's not famous. And Kobe's sisters came on, and my brother came on, and they all talked so like open and honest. And Kobe was on that show. And then of course I remember doing the song with him, and then doing the music video with him. And remember he met his wife at the music video. I remember her at the music video and saw a little spark between them on the set of the music video. So it's just all those moments, and there were more moments that I remembered. I remembered when he first came to LA, it was a mutual friend of ours, and I can't remember who it was, called me and said, there's this young kid, and he is a sweet, sweet kid. And I know you don't party, you don't do nothing. Can he just come to set or your house or something, and you just sit and talk with him, because he's about to be huge. He just got drafted, and he's about to be huge. And this kid named Kobe Bryant comes to my house and he sits on my couch and I just school him about LA, what to look out for, and here's my number if you ever need anything.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, whenever I saw him, I always saw that 17-year-old kid in my eyes.
I know you got to go. I was wondering, when you did the song with Kobe, was that around the time where you was trying to figure out what the next thing was for you?
A little bit before that, I think, or maybe in the process, but maybe slightly before. So Kobe and we were at the Teen Choice Awards, and he was sitting behind me, and I was in front of him, and we were talking about, and he was winning. He won for Best Sports Star of the Year, and I won for Supermodel of the Year or something. And then so he's like, "What are you doing this summer?" And I'm like, "I don't know, nothing, modeling." And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm cutting an album." I'm like, "You are? Are you serious?" I was like, "I'll do it." And he started laughing. And I'm like, "I'll do it for free." He's like, "For free?" And then, yes, for free. And then a couple days later, I'm literally in the studio with him singing that song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad both of y'all found other career paths.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes. You want to sing it now?
Huh?
You want to sing it now?
Yeah, KOBEILOVE.
Hey.
And I think you are very fine. If you give me one chance, I promise to love you and be with you forevermore. They kept telling me, more baby Tyra. Because at first I was like, KOBEI. No, they were like, no, KOBEILOVE. So I'll never forget. But I actually think this song is good, but it just shouldn't have had me.
Well, we're going to play it now.
Oh, please.
Yes, we're going to play it right now.
Oh.
You want to play the Kobe and Tyra
Let's
song?
play it.
We need
Why
to
you
play
say
it.
it like that?
I don't think Kobe wants you to do that. I think Kobe would not approve of this.
You don't think so? Okay, you know more than I do because you're a guy.
Let's play it.
I think it's love, but if you don't.
No.
Nah,
Okay, let's not do it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember the record. I just remember Kobe's verse on the record. And I was like, Kobe don't
Why
need
is
to be
that
rapping.
bad?
Nah, because you had Shaq. Shaq was a really good rapper as a basketball player. People like Damian Lillard, even back then you had like Allen Iverson. Like those guys were good. Kobe was just like, it wasn't effortless.
Right. I think it's only right.
All right,
let's-
for old time's sake.
Are you sure?
You want to introduce the record?
No, because I don't want to be the person that now you're saying no, and then I'm like, I don't want to.
Don't worry about what my beauty standards of music are, Tyra. Okay?
Let's introduce this record. Tyra, we appreciate you for joining us. Thank you so
And
much.
what more information on ModelLand?
Oh, yeah, you can go to model-land.com and you can check it out. You can get your tickets, and I can't wait. And I actually have been calling people that have been buying tickets. I've been doing FaceTime, so I might FaceTime you.
That's dope. All right, well, here it is. Kobe Bryant.
Featuring
Tyra Banks. It's called Kobe.
KOBE.
KOBE. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.